Hey there, my little biz besties. Welcome to In Good Company, where business talk meet coffee chat vibes. I'm your host, Ashley Chamberlain, and today we had the absolute pleasure of talking with LaShay Calvin, who manages to make being a bounty chef look easy. We're going to dive into her story, lessons learned, maybe the occasional oops moments, because let's be real, we have all had them. Welcome to the show, LaShay.
Thank you. Hello, thank you, and thanks for having Auntie Soulfood and Sweets.
Yes, I am good. I'm so pumped. So, LaShay and I have never met in person before, but I'm sure that the audience will feel this throughout this conversation. You had such an energy that makes people feel like they've known you forever. I'm curious with your aunties, I had to make sure I say it right. Aunties, soul food and sweets. Do you feel like that kind of energy helps people enjoy their experience when they're eating your food? Tell us about your food, all things food. I could listen to food things all day long. So tell me about that.
So I believe that's the exact reason why people come to my business and support my business is because I am very good at making people feel welcome, comfortable, at home, and equal. That is why we specialize in diverse cuisines and desserts. We have something for everyone.
Yeah. So soul food, is that what we can expect when we look at your menu or when you say all kinds of foods? Does it change?
Yes, it does change. I like to specialize in Latin Caribbean cuisine with a soul food twist.
Okay. Okay. Well, I love
Um,
all of those things. So it sounds delicious. And are we talking lunch? Are we talking dinner, catering? What does that look like?
so we're talking we service meal prep, we do catering, we do dinners, Wednesday through Fridays. So we kind of do a lot of our things. We also
Wow.
teach baking and culinary as a therapeutic tool to our youth. So
Okay. Well, we're going to put a pin in that because that's some secret sauce right there. Tell me, because I truly did not look up where did Lachey come from? I wanted to hear it. Tell me your backstory. How did you get to Auntie Soulful and Sweets? What's that like?
so I am a West Louisville native, mom of four. I have overcome the unknown, the unforeseen. So a few years ago, I survived domestic violence. I have two children that are epileptic, and I'm epileptic myself. And
Oh,
so hardship is what we know, clearly,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Um, and so leaving the relationship, I found myself broken, damaged, trying to figure my way out. I went through a lot of tough things, and I found out taking care of my grandma, who I later found out had dementia, I had to help her cook. With that being said, I kind of was able to release some things through
Oh,
cooking with my grandma. And so in 2020, she passed. So
oh,
I immediately began to feel myself kind of drift back into depression, back to where, I was a few years earlier. And for
wow.
me, it was like, what can I do
Right.
to shake this feeling?
Yep. Pick myself
I,
up.
yeah. And so I'm also the favorite auntie, right? So I got all these kids, these
Of course.
teenagers coming to hang out, and I'm all sad and depressed. So I was like, they always say, Auntie, come on, cook for us. And so within that, I was like, okay, it's what I did with my grandma, to kind of keep me up in spirit. So I began to cook. As I began to cook, I started servicing third shift just like as a trial
Yeah.
to see if I could actually maintain it. It actually turned out good. I immediately went to Sullivan, and now here we are, 6 years later.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And, you know, I've had my own journey with domestic violence, and I know it's more of a not a victim mentality, but a survivor mentality. And I love how you like were so self-aware that you needed to shake this feeling, not just for yourself, but your people, right? Your people needed you to find something to use to get out of that. So congratulations or whatever feels the kind of word that you would say in that situation. I personally know how hard that can be. And so in comes our favorite auntie who has a special skill. Did you find that your kids found comfort in your food the way that your customers do? Or did you feel like that was your love language? This is how you showed up caring about them? What does that look like?
I think my kids were excited about me just finding a way to thrive. They had experienced the whole ordeal in person.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I think that as I begin to heal, because as a parent, you have to lead the way, right? You have to lead by example. You can tell your kids, "Hey, be good," but if you act out, they're gonna do the same. I'm gonna do something, and then I'm gonna explain it to them versus try to fight this by myself because all I had was my kids. And so I didn't want them to feel like I was sad all the time. I wanted them to know, like, hey, this is an outlet for me. And just them coming over, like noticing that I was in a bad place. And they're like, come on, mama, come on, auntie, get up, let's eat, because that's the thing that I do in the family. I'm the family person that cooks
Mhm.
the food and has
Yep.
get together. You go through things in life, kind of, stay away from people. So the
Yeah.
kids, they kinda it brought me a joy, so I think for them, it was more so,
Cool.
"Okay, we got mama doing something," and then when we began to take off, when I actually LLC'd everything, it was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, she's really in
This is
this."
a legit
Yeah.
thing.
She's not leaving this thing because I'm
Yeah.
not to start stuff and not finish it.
Right. Yeah.
And so here we
I
are
love
3 years in
that.
business. Look at God.
Oh, okay. Well, obviously, your kids have learned some special skills from you to be able to recognize when someone needs maybe some push, some help, some words to get off and, do the thing. So also kudos to you because kids do watch everything you do, good
Yes.
or bad. So I love that. So the name Auntie, obviously, because you're the favorite, soul food and sweet. What does the sweets part look like? Is that dessert wise?
That's, beverage and dessert wise. So the sweets look like
Okay.
peach cobbler, cheesecake cannolis, pineapple tea, cake pops, triple brownies, breakfast, peach cobbler muffins. Kinda like it's a selective, strawberry tres leche, chicken and waffles. I like to do diverse and I like to mix things together that
Yeah.
usually don't go together. I'm baking by trade, culinary at heart.
Okay.
So
Oh,
flavor
oh,
palette is the tea.
culinary bar. I'm getting just chilled over here. It's like triple brownie. Didn't know that we could triple it, but I love that. So is that what you are doing every day? Is this a workout at the home? You're baking at home, or do you have a storefront?
Oh, so no, I don't have a storefront because we
Okay,
are 100% caterers. But
cool.
what I do is I do a lot of vendor events. I've
Okay,
done events down at the waterfront for the Sky and Soul Festival.
cool.
But we are located at 1812 West Muhammad Ali inside of Chef
Okay,
Space.
okay. And do you have a team, or you are rocking and rolling by yourself?
I kind of keep it small because it is a family business
Yep.
and we haven't picked up. And with everything going on, the economy is changing rapidly.
My gosh, yes.
And so right now we are in a pivot stage. So we're
Okay.
going to focus on catering, teaching, and educating the healing process of it. We just added a nonprofit initiative to it. Auntie's House
Oh, cool.
Incorporated. Auntie's House Incorporated is my way to give back to people who have similar stories or
Yeah.
a different story like mine.
Okay.
So we give back to the less fortunate with hot meals, hygiene products,
Mm,
clothing, shelter resources, rehabilitation resources.
yeah.
Starting this year with health screenings, I have a few nurses that jumped on the board that can kind of
Oh,
give us health screening, so that way we can kind of identify with what our people actually need, what the community
yeah.
actually need versus what we think they should have.
Which
So
can be two very different things sometimes, especially with Louisville. And before we started recording, we were talking about just the hit that
yes,
this area is consistently taking, whether it's weather or, tragedy. I love that you're taking a proactive step. It's easy. I think the easy thing to do is just to sit at home and say, "That's so sad,"
yeah,
right? Like prayers. I'm
yeah,
praying for you. Like obviously that's great. Please continue to pray. But you're taking a proactive step and looking at what is actually needed, and what is needed is action. So I think that's so cool, and I think there are other people that would come out of the woodworks to take the step with you. If you're ever willing to bring on maybe a non-family member, I don't know, maybe someone named Ashley, I don't know, maybe someone that wears glasses, you could just ask them. They would be willing and love to help with your efforts you've got going on.
I have help. I'm
Good.
just not, we're building, we're only in year 3, right? So they
Okay.
say business wise, the year 3 is the year that you begin to see profit and actually make money,
Mm. Yep.
if you stick to the course. And so
Yep.
for me, it was more so of when people need jobs, I've experienced that they don't, our careers, should I say, they don't want to be there for just a paycheck all the time. Some
Mhm.
people actually wanna find something and be able to stick to it. And me, myself, coming from where I come from and my wife for the business and the nonprofit, is to make sure I can provide that stability as a resource for the families and the people that
Awesome.
I come into. So I don't wanna say,
Yeah.
"Hey, I can guarantee you this amount of money and this
Sure.
amount of hours," and then the economy happens and I don't have a spin around. I do welcome teens and youth to engage all the time. They are able to
Cool.
volunteer, they're able to make money. I try to focus on them a little bit more,
Cool.
because right now there's not a lot of things for them to do. So come the summertime, the caterings kick in, and then I have
Yep.
a way to keep them off of the street, and they're
Yeah.
making money, and they're volunteering on the flip side, so it kind of
Yeah.
me build another family.
Helpful.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that. That's so so true to what it is. Like something about like busy hands, busy mind, like keep them busy so they
Yeah.
stay out of trouble, whatever trouble looks like for whatever area or life they have. So that's so cool that you offer kind of a space for that. So you have a lot of things moving at once. You're pivoting. You had mentioned before our call that you have events coming up. What do these events look like? What's going on with that?
So as in year 3, our biggest thing is transitioning from local to national. So we have begun to tour in states like Atlanta. We have the Black Party May the 31st back in Atlanta. We was invited back the same day. And then we have Nashville, June the 8th. It's a bill brand and banking with Miss Tamara Harris. And what she does is digitize businesses and journal making with Canva.
Cool.
So we're excited to be a part of that event as a sponsor, but also as a student. I don't want to be the
Yeah.
best. I want to be better at everything that I do. Best for me is a state of mind. Most people get to best and then they stop there. I want to get to my best and then I want to grow and grow and grow and grow and continue to grow. So it creates generational wealth for not just my children, for their children and their children. And hopefully with the long term goal to franchise out the catering company, it will
Hmm.
also do the same for other families, not just in Louisville, Kentucky, but all over the United States and with
Yeah.
intentions, God see fit, internationally.
Okay. I mean, I'm not mad
I'm
about
just
that.
here.
And
And so
I love that you said, you're also a student because I always think that if you consider yourself the best at something, then you just kind of cut your legs off. If you don't think there's something that you can learn from someone else, then you're not going to continue to grow. And you very much recognize that. And it sounds like you're consistently surrounding yourself with people who know more than you. And I think that is so admirable. It's easy to stay kind of stagnant and I'm good at this. So I'm just going to keep doing this. But then you don't grow inside and out. And I think that's so cool to hear from an industry like yours. You don't want to just stop at cooking, at baking, at I'm putting meals together and here you go. It sounds like you're expanding in a lot of different ways. So we have events coming up. We've got an Atlanta event, which of course it's called the Block Party. Look at Atlanta. Like there's a block party. There's probably a block party right now that we're
right
missing.
now.
I can just feel it in my soul. So then we've got the Nashville event, which who can go to that? Can anybody go to that?
Anybody can go to that. The link is on Eventbrite. I will send
Okay.
over all the information.
Yeah.
But yes, I encourage everybody to come. I encourage everyone to take a leap of faith. All it takes is one time, one jump. The fear that you are scared of running from, you're gonna run head on into it anyway. So you might as well just put your chin up, chest out,
Yeah.
and be ready for it?
Yeah. And do it with a shirt. Because how could you
Yes,
be afraid?
I
You're
would
with your
definitely
shirt.
make sure that you are welcome.
Awesome. I love that. Oh, that sounds so fun. So when I was doing my little quick investigation to figure out who was LaShay Calvin, I saw that some of the things that are going on in the background politically, which sometimes it's trash, sometimes it's important, could be some of the FDA stuff happening. So I know a lot of the stuff is kind of up in the air. Sometimes these things happen, sometimes we get scared and they don't happen. So as of today, are you feeling any of those changes yet? Or are a lot of those changes with the FDA, the Louisville office, the presence? Has anything actually happened yet, or are we still in the waiting game?
We're still in the waiting game, but
Yeah.
because it is my profession and different avenues consist of branding my drinks, branding my
Yeah.
sauces, adding additives and things of that
Yeah.
nature, knowing what food is good, what prices increase, what regulations have changed is important to know ahead of time, which is why I am able to pivot and say, okay, well, even if this avenue has a roadblock coming up, what can I do
Mm.
to still stay in this lane without having to need that if it does come to a shutdown?
Okay.
Preparation is a necessity as a business that wants to be
Yeah.
successful. So
Yeah. Okay. I love that. And so I watched your little clip on the news and I was like, okay, I'm talking to a celebrity. Did not realize.
I don't even know if I'm one. The
Well, you're on
elementary
the news.
kids say that I am, but they always say when I show 'em my YouTube videos, they're like, "You're a celebrity." I'm like, "No, I'm just a
Okay.
regular mom like your mom."
Yeah, well, I respectfully disagree because I did see you on the news and on YouTube. So I was like, whoa, celebrity is in the house. I will be on my A game. So that's so exciting. I love that you're speaking out about it and bringing awareness because I had no idea. A lot of this stuff you hear and you just kind of wait to see what happens because sometimes nothing happens. Sometimes it's overnight. And so watching that little video helped me kind of be in the know of what's going on in our own backyard. You know, easy to think, well, that's just like, you know, that's like politics. We don't know. And we just kind of go
Oh,
about
but
our
it
lives.
affects us.
But it's,
Politics
yes,
and
in our lives.
yeah.
It's in our city. It's in,
And
it's just
you're
everyday life.
out of all the cities that they could
Yeah.
have chosen, we
Right.
were on the top of the list, and so that was
It's
which was
crazy.
awkward, but it was important to me because I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hey, they see something that we don't see, from a different perspective, so let
Yeah.
me take a peek and see,"
See what's
because I
going
don't want
on.
to travel to Indianapolis,
No,
every
what a
quarter or
nightmare.
every 6 months to get reinstated or
Yeah.
get an inspection because, I mean
When it's in our backyard, it makes
yeah.
things just a little easier with all the things on your list of to dos. Why make something like that harder?
Please don't add it.
Yeah.
Please don't add it.
Yeah, like,
We can do
let's just
without it.
leave us Louisville people alone. We have
Mhm.
enough to worry about. We have flooded basements. We've got tornadoes. Like, we had random blizzards. Like,
Yeah.
we're good. So, okay, well, that was really informative. I think you did great on the interview. It was not awkward. I was like, get it, LaShay. I don't even know what you're talking about, but you look really serious. And so that made me want to keep watching and like look up some stuff. So I love that. So all these different things going on. If someone was in your shoes years and years ago when you started wearing the shoes, what is maybe a piece of advice that you would give someone just starting out if they had a similar path that you did?
Pray and start. You will not have all of the resources. You will feel like you failed multiple times. No one will see your vision. The people that you want to support you will not show up. And no matter what odds you face, just push, fight, pray, and continue because that's the only thing that works. People ask me all the time, what did you do? When I sit down and I really think about it, I'm like, I literally just like prayed to God and I
Yeah.
work because you can pray all day, but prayer without work, it doesn't get you anywhere.
Right.
So
I love that.
I just tell anybody like nobody, if it's the craziest, hardest thing, but it won't go away, that's your thing. And it doesn't have to be $1 million thing. It doesn't have to be a big superstar. If it's collect the rocks,
Right.
build your portfolio, your profile, and find people that's in your lane because
Yeah.
they're with people in your lane and just take it on.
Well, that's so, oh, it's so special. And one day your kids will watch that and they'll be like, how did mom do it? Because in our mind, we think our kids like think of us as superheroes sometimes. Like, how did mom do it? She's a superhero. But your answer was,
God,
right. Yeah. It
God,
can be as simple and as complicated as you make it. So that's inspiring. So with your daily life, do you have things that you do every day, maybe a habit or something that kind of keeps you focused with all the moving parts that you have going on?
learn myself. That has become
Yes.
my habit, and because I wear so many hats, I learned that at one point in time I was functioning in my depression.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
used the job and the career and the things to stay busy. So sometimes when things get slow, you end up by yourself. And it's like, why do I have all these different emotions? Life is good. I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on. And so
Yeah.
I've taken that time to not only find out who I am, not as a mom, not as a business owner, not as a student, but just simply as LaShay. And then I've also tried to do my best with finding like-minded women who make me uncomfortable. Because being uncomfortable is a good thing.
Yeah.
How it sounds, if you're
Yeah.
in a room full of people that make you feel like, oh my God, I know I belong here, but I feel so out of place. That's your time to grow and that's your time to shine. You're in the right spot. And so for me, I'm getting comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. Not easy to do.
Yeah, so that's
So
my hobby. It's not really
like that.
self-care, but we change so much as moms
Right.
and wear so many different hats that I think it's important for us to not forget about us.
Mhm.
Um, we have to
That's
take care of
nice.
all these other people. I didn't know this until I was in a group with other women, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, everybody's juggling things like this, everybody,"
Right.
and we just have to
Yeah.
release. And so instead of trying to do glorious things and trying to do all of this stuff that social media and life says, society says that we're supposed to be doing at our age, I just simply take the time to myself and say, "Hey, you did good today. What do you want to change about tomorrow? You know, is your
Yeah.
vision still your vision? Who can you help today? Did you help anybody today?" Because my blessings are the reason why I'm able to sit and have this conversation with you.
Yeah.
Because my heart is genuine and I do pour into other people, even when my glass is half.
That's such a good reminder. It's our mom, as entrepreneurs, sisters, wife, whatever, there's so much outside pressure
Yep.
to do it all, do it all with great, to do it all perfectly, and just very much yourself last. And you're so it's not self care. It just sounds like you're loving yourself
Mhm.
enough to be able to give to other people, and that's such a good reminder. As a mom myself, um, it's a good reminder that you can't be your best version of yourself unless you are taking care of yourself.
The building can't stand on a weak foundation.
Right.
The stronger the foundation, the longer lasting the building will be. And so
Mm,
if you're the foundation, your kids and your grandkids and your great grandkids and those who come along will be the building. And so your structure has to
love
be
that.
ready for rain, sleet, snow, tsunami, hail,
All of it.
floods,
All of it late.
waves, changes. And so within there, it's like, when do you take time for yourself? We usually don't. And I'm 37 learning too.
I love that. So, kind of wrapping things up, we said our catering business, what's our catering business, and a lot of other things. But for the sake of anyone that listens to this and their mouth started watering when you started listing off all of that food, I'm going to be dreaming about it. What are some ways that people can work with you, whether it's reaching out and just chatting or some different outlets that they can look at to work to figure out how does LaShay come into my life with that food?
Okay. I have all social media platforms. My Facebook, I have a personal business page and a business
Okay.
page. So you can look me up on Shay Chef on Facebook and/or Auntie Soulfood and Sweets. Instagram is Chef Shayla Heffa, Auntie Soulfood and Sweets. TikTok is Auntie Soulfood and Sweets. We can be reached at Auntie Soulfood and Sweets, LLC at gmail.com.
Okay.
Are everywhere. I love to meet people. I love to do
Yeah.
business. I love to become a part of your family. And so with that being said,
Yeah.
I'm
So
there.
people who need some food at these events, you got to feed the people. People will
Yes,
say at these events if they know that there's food, it's going to be there, especially good food. Having
especially
food,
aunties.
yeah, like having food requirement, having good food. I mean, that's exceptional. So
Yeah.
Auntie's Soul Food and Sweet can be added to an event, can be catered to. It doesn't just stop at lunch. It also
No.
sounds like it's
We are
first off a
JCPS
changing.
vendors.
Yes.
We are
Yeah, all the
JCPS
things.
vendors. We are educators. We
Yep.
teach baking and culinary as a therapeutic and essential skills and trade. We can get
Awesome.
your youth or mom or dad serve safe certified management training. We
Okay.
can get you cooking classes if what we do you want to further. We also have connections to Sullivan University, and
Mhm.
Governor School of Entrepreneurship, so that way people can excel and actually, those are the tools and resources that I use that I now have
Okay.
available to offer to other people. So,
Okay.
change
I
your
love that.
life using food.
Yeah.
Like food is the tool.
Yes. And everybody's got to eat. Might as well
Everybody's got
do
to eat.
it. Might as well do it with some good food. So I'm so excited. Please send me the links for that Build Brand Bank
Bank. Yeah.
event.
Okay.
And that's a mouthful. That is something I feel like a lot of small business owners, this is the time for events. Springtime, it's growth. Go to these events, learn, be better. And just a big thank you to you, LaShay, for sharing your brilliance today. If this episode sparked any ideas or maybe just reassured somebody in the audience that you're not alone on this crazy ride, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, reach out to LaShay, Auntie Soulfood and Sweets. And until next time, keep building, keep dreaming, and remember, you're always in good company.
If I could do it all over again, there'd be no wish I would, should have been. Spend more time with my family and friends. If I could do it all over again.